Most people think warriors break when life hits them hard, but the truth is darker than that. A samurai can swing a blade with perfect form and still crumble the moment the battlefield goes quiet. That's what happened to Satoru, a warrior undefeated in combat, yet shattered by a single insult whispered by a dying enemy. Not because the words were powerful, but because his inner world was fragile. You don't break when life strikes you. You break when you can't hold yourself together between the strikes. And that's why the ancient masters created a discipline almost no one remembers, a way of strengthening the inside of a warrior, so that no storm, no pressure, no memory could ever reach the center of who they are. Today, you're going to learn that forgotten discipline. And once you do, the world will never break you the same way again. Misty morning, Kai Province. Cherry blossoms drift through cold air. You kneel beside a mountain spring. Your armor clinks with every breath. But it's not the cold that makes your hands tremble. It's the silence inside you. You've won many battles. No blade has found your throat. No challenger has brought you to your knees. And yet, you feel broken. A single insult from your last opponent still echoes. You tremble like a child. You defeated him in moments, but the words stayed. They crept beneath your armor. They invaded your sleep. They made you question everything. Because strength, true strength, was supposed to protect you from this. And that's when you hear it. A quiet voice, not hostile, but ancient. Your armor protects your flesh. But who protects the one inside the armor? You look up. An old monk stands among the trees. His robes flutter in the wind, but his eyes do not move. His presence feels heavier than your sword. His name is Cairo, and this is the beginning of your real training. No one sees what you carry. You rise early. You train harder. You strike cleaner. From the outside, you are the model of discipline. But inside, you dread the mornings. Your breath catches for no reason. Old failures revisit you like ghosts, and you cannot sit still without waging war against your own thoughts. Cairo watches quietly. Then one day, he says, "You have built strength the wrong way. Outside first, inside last." You resist his words. You double your drills. You run in the snow. You submerge yourself in freezing streams. You scream into the silence, trying to crush the weakness, but it remains. One night, during meditation, your mind fractures again. A flood of memory, shame, regret. You open your eyes and shout, "I cannot stay still. My thoughts tear me apart." Cairo does not flinch. He bows slightly and says, "Then you have finally met your true opponent." He places a hand on your chest, not forcefully, but with knowing, and says, "There is a form, older than swordplay, a discipline meant not to cut others, but to hold yourself together. Ishin no kata, the form of the inner heart." Cairo begins the lesson not with movement, but with stillness. He leads you to a high ridge during a thunderstorm. You are to sit, just sit. No sword, no mantra, just wind, rain, and your own mind. A warrior must find the place inside him that does not move. The storm howls, your skin burns from cold. But Cairo is right. The real storm is inside, and you've never been taught to survive it. You want to run, but slowly something changes. You stop resisting the discomfort, and you begin to listen, to the breath, to the stillness beneath the chaos, to the part of you that has always been calm, but buried. You break, he says, because you refuse to feel what you carry. He makes you walk steep paths with stones in your pack, each one etched with a name: regret, shame, doubt, betrayal, failure. You say each name aloud as you climb. At first you resist, but then something happens. When you say their names, they lose power. When you feel their weight, they stop haunting you from the shadows. He teaches breath like blade. Inhale, Gather, exhale, return. Feel the feet, feel the spine, find the center. When the mind scatters, Cairo says, you must gather it as a master gathers fallen arrows. The mind is not your enemy. It is a battlefield, and now you are learning how to hold your ground. The final test arrives with a stormone that tears trees from soil and hurls rocks from cliffs. Cairo leads you to a narrow ledge and speaks only once. Stand, do not move, do not fight the storm, and do not hide from yourself. The wind slams you. Fear rises like a tide. Memories attack. Every weakness screams for escape, but this time you do not run. You enter the still core. You feel the weight. You keep returning to center. Tears come not from pain, but release. And as the sun breaks through the mist the next morning, you are still standing, not because the storm ended, but because you discovered you were always more than what the storm could reach. When you descend from the mountain, the world feels quieter. Not because it changed, but because you did. Insults no longer bite. Uncertainty no longer shakes you. You no longer flinch at shadows because you face the one inside. One morning, a younger samurai bumps your shoulder and scoffs. You look tired, old man. You look at him, and you don't feel anger. You don't feel pride. You feel peace. Nothing you say can reach where I now stand. Cairo smiles from across the courtyard. It is the first time you've seen him smile. Strength, he says, is not the absence of wounds. It is the ability to stay whole despite them. You nod, because now you know. Unbreakable is not what people see in you. Unbreakable is what you return to inside yourself. You are not surrounded by swords, but your life is still a battlefield. You are attacked by pressure, by uncertainty, by self-doubt, by expectations, by endless comparisons. And maybe like Satoru, you've learned to perform strength without feeling strong. You hold everything in. But Isshin no Kata was never about appearance. It was about center, stillness, recovery. You can begin practicing today. 1. The still core. Take one moment each day. No phone, no movement, no tasks. Just breathe. Just listen. Just be. This moment becomes your anchor in chaos. 2. Carry the weight. Write the regrets you avoid. Speak the fears you suppress. Name the pain you pretend not to feel. What you name can no longer ambush you. 3. Returning to center. When the mind scatters, come back to breath, come back to posture, come back to this moment. Again, and again, and again. That is the kata. That is the form. Final lines. A vow. When the world spins, when the pressure rises, when life breaks open again, return to the center, the one the world cannot touch. Because you are not unbreakable by chance. You are unbreakable by discipline. So ask yourself, what weight are you still carrying that no one can see? When your mind scatters, where do you return? And what would your life feel like if no storm could reach the center of who you are? If this story spoke to your path, like this video, subscribe, press the bell, and share it with someone walking their own warrior journey. Our other stories should be appearing on your screen. Now watch them next, and I'll see you tomorrow at the same time with a brand new video.